But this does not explain all of it. It is only when a baby girl is born that the baby girl will rule over the mother. If a baby boy is born, the baby boy will not rule over the mother. So this explanation is not adequate. The Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, one more hadith, and again connected with Dajjal. He said, the time will come when one man would have to maintain how many women? How many? How many? 50, 50. What is 50 in Bahasa? Mimbu. Nimru. Lima biru. One man would have to maintain 50 women. Now listen. No, go back home and misquote this hadith to your wife. He didn't say one man would have to marry 50 women. So when you go back home and report this hadith to your wife, make sure you report it properly. One man would have to maintain 50 women. What this hadith indicates is that there is going to be a calamitous decline in the birth of baby boys. So great will be the decline that hardly any baby boys are going to be born tomorrow. Why? We held an international Islamic retreat in Trinidad a year and a half ago. And then we held a second one in Cape Town in March. And now we're holding the third one here in Malaysia, inshallah, next year. And the retreat was meant to teach the reality of the world today using the Quran and Hadith. And in that retreat, a medical doctor stood up and explained to us. He said that the sperm of the male has male chromosomes and female chromosomes. And when the male chromosome fertilizes the egg, then a baby boy is born. But if a male chromosome fails to fertilize the egg, then the default would be a baby girl. Aristotle said the same thing 4,000 years ago, but he said it in a clumsy way. He said in his Nicomachean Ethics that when nature fails to produce a boy, a girl is born. The doctor explained that the radiation that comes from cellular phones and from laptop computers, and notice where the laptop computer is placed, that this radiation damages sperm production, making the chromosome weaker and weaker, until eventually the male chromosome will be too weak to fertilize the egg. 10 years ago when I came to KL, nobody had a cell phone. Nobody. And now every Indonesian male has a cell phone. It is proliferating. Maybe that the genetically modified food also has a role to play. Maybe that the pollution of the environment, the atmosphere, has a role to play. But the fact is that there's a tomorrow which is coming when very few baby boys are going to be born. If you have a political system in which one man and one woman has one vote, then the majority will rule. Allah did not create women to rule. No, He did not. But Dajjal says, I'm going to make them rule. So Dajjal has given you the cellular phone. It's very handy. Oh yes, but this is the price you pay. And tomorrow, when there are very few men and large numbers of women, guess who's going to be your prime minister? And all the ministers in your government. This is not to say that women do not have the intellectual acumen to be scholars and to be administrators. This is not to be in any way insulting or demeaning women. No. Your mother was a woman. And your mother was the best teacher you ever had in your life. How can you speak of women as being inferior to men intellectually? Are you crazy? No. How can you speak of women being morally and spiritually inferior to men? Are you mad? Did the Messenger of Allah not say that all of mankind will stand before Allah on Judgment Day, men as well as women, as equal in His sight as are the teeth of a comb? Did He not say that? But Allah did not create women to rule. No. Allah gave them complementary roles. The night has to do the work of the night, and the day has to do the work of the day. And so they complement each other. They're like two halves that come together to make a whole. But Dajjal says, no. Dajjal says, I'm going to put an equal sign between the male and the female. And he did it, and they swallowed it. The brainwashed followers of Dajjal.